everyone. Boy, it's 9:30 and we are going to start. Can everybody please take their seats? Because we are now going to have our very own Palm Beach County Fire Rescue with the presentation of the colors. Please stand.
Present arms.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order. Arms. Right. Race. Word. Heart.
Let's have a big hand for the Palm Beach County Fire Rescue. And will everyone sit down except for veterans? All veterans remain standing. Thank you all for your service. A little different meeting we're having today. We're having speakers, and each one is going to be timed. 5 to 7 minutes they get, and we have timing lights here for them. 5 minutes, the green light will go on, 6 minutes the yellow, 7 minutes the red, with 30 seconds to wrap up. And we're going to hear why they would like to be elected, why they would like you to actually vote for them. So we're going to hear from each one. It's very nice and even feel here. Everyone has chosen their position for speaking. I'll announce them as they go. We're going to first have the judges, and then the judges will have to leave because they are nonpartisan and they can't stay with the other events. I have been told that, instructed that. So the judges will speak first, and then we'll have the state attorney and then the public defender. Altogether we have, I do believe we have 9 speakers. Okay, so as are usual with our meeting, we get our updates. Captain Sant.
Good morning. Good morning. Feels like I haven't seen you all in a long time. Well, it's very nice to see everybody. I'm going to make it quick. I know you guys have the third busy morning planned today with a lot of interesting people that are going to be speaking to you. So let me get started with our, well, let me stop. In the very beginning of this year, I was very concerned. I think I shared that with you all a few meetings back about our burglaries and our auto thefts. In the western part of the district, we were really getting clobbered. Crew coming up from Miami, like I spoke to in Broward, they were really doing some damage to us over in the western side. But I'm here now to present to you the back end of this year, God willing, is going to be fantastic. All indicators support that. We're down 58%. We've reversed all numbers. Right? Thank you very much. And I'll tell you, the credit really goes to the men and women from the task force, our detective bureaus, our street crime units. The sharing of information and assets throughout the region is unbelievable. really is unbelievable. So 58% we're down on that, and we've knocked out the majority of all the auto burglaries. It's unreal. We've arrested a lot of the members from Broward. We really believe we interrupted the cell, if you may, of all of them coming up here. So knock on wood, we're going to keep pressing them real hard. All right, traffic. Quick update on traffic. I want to say thank you to everybody for being safe, number one. Number two, we're down 3% half the year. Now, I know it doesn't sound like a big number. You should. Yeah, give a round of applause because we've turned around the numbers on that, and we're down 3% in crashes throughout the district. Here's a number I want to share with you that is a little bit concerning to me. Of the intersections that are measured on the most crashes throughout the county, Atlantic and Jog, number 10. It's a big county, so I won't even give you the back end numbers because I don't want anybody to get too upset. But number 10 of the numbers that were listed and posted, number 10 is a little bit concerning. So please be careful going through every intersection, but in particular that intersection, okay? All right, last but not least, let me touch on Operation Heatwave. We've launched for our summer Operation Heatwave, and this operation consists of a task force built up of members of the District 4 that know the community best, our detective bureaus and the supervisor, to get ahead of any crime trends that we've identified throughout the year. So we're taking a very, very proactive approach based on analytical data that we can support on crime trends, and we're putting deputies and assets in place before the criminals hit. It's panning out very well already. We've taken one known prolific burglar, an auto theft suspect off the streets that lives local, who we've already have charges on him, but we know he's been responsible for many other thefts throughout the years, local. So we put him on ice, should I say, for the summer. Hopefully they'll keep him there, and then the rest of the summer should go nice and smooth. All right, prepare for hurricane. You guys ready? One's brewing to the south of us, you see it. And I want you guys to have a blessed but safe 4th of July, and I'll see you guys soon.
Give me a hat.
Great. We have Chief Bill Stansberry.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for having me here today. Happy 4th, or a little bit early. Just as the officer said, there is the hurricane that's brewing down south, so that's a good reminder to get ready for hurricane season. We're still early. Generally, they pop up in August and September around these parts from my being here for the last 20 plus years. So be ready for those. Have some stuff in the pantry. You don't want to get caught having to go out to Home Depot and the store to buy stuff because everyone in the area will be out buying stuff and there will be nothing left. Additionally, call volume for this area, the fire stations in western Delray, western Boynton ran about 3,000 calls for the month of June. The busiest fire station, I believe, in the county was 45 right there on Linton and Jog. They ran almost 600 calls, so they're averaging about 20 calls a day. So they're a busy fire station. And yeah, the Atlantic Jog intersection, but also the Atlantic and Lyons intersection. I live in the western area, so I know that area seems dangerous, so be patient, be careful. And sometimes just ease up when the light goes yellow, don't gun it, because that's when accidents happen. So anyway, be safe, have a good 4th of July, and call 911 if you need us.
We have several elected officials that are going to speak, give us little updates. But first, Arnie Katz will be announcing the names of guests that come from elected officials in governmental offices, and who don't speak, and we want to give them acknowledgement.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
On our first ever July meeting. Wow. It's exciting, it really is. And thank you all for being here. It's a much larger crowd than I personally anticipated, but I'm really glad you're all here. Anyhow, these are the folks that are joining us this morning. Ed Saul from Mayor Maria Sack's office. Victoria Green from Palm Beach County Tax Collector's office. Howie Zimmerman and Roger Michaud from the Palm Beach County Property Appraiser's office. Kathy Bernstein from the Clerk and Controller's Office. Mark Freeman, State Attorney's Office. Major Chris Keene and Lieutenant John Wink from PBSO. Karen Ingram from Palm Beach County Legislative Delegation. Troy Gross from Senator Berman's office. Bryn Gonzalez from Representative Skidmore's office. And Miles Osborne from Lake Worth Drainage District. Thank you all for being here. Have a good 4th, everyone.
Thank you for that. We have Representative Joe Casello here. Great, would you like to say a few words, give us an update?
Well, good morning, everyone.
Good
It's
morning.
good to be here, very festive looking, that's good. Big holiday coming up. I just want to say it's important, this election. We're here to hear some from the candidates, all fine people. They're all going to do a good job, whoever is fortunate to win an election. But it's up to us to get out and vote. This election cycle is the most important one since I've been in this business. So we can talk about it, but we got to do it. Get it done. Just do it, like Nike says. I want to give my legislative aide down here, Brian Bees, yeah, give him a round of applause. The legislative aides don't get enough credit. They run the office, they really do, and get us to where we gotta be and from point A to point B. So looking forward to hearing from this candidates there and what they have to say, and we'll be making our decisions soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Michael Barnett, so good to see you here.
Thank you, Lori. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Very nice to be back with you. It's been a while since I've been to a meeting of the Del Rey Alliance. My name is Michael Barnett. I'm County Commissioner for District 3. It doesn't cover your territory. I'm a little bit north of you, but I'm glad to be back here with you. I appreciate the work that you do and the relationship that we built together, Lori. We have my assistant with me, Sasha Lopez, who she's a great help to our office, comes from community services and has helped transform my office on the 12th floor into the Community Services Commission office. We are on the ground in the community, facing and addressing a lot of the needs that District 3 has that we don't see in a lot of other areas in the county with regards to homelessness, getting people into housing, mental health, drug abuse, addiction, and providing services for indigent, immigrant. But we do a lot of work, and we put our information in the Barnett Bulletin, which I'm very grateful that you decided to include in your emails. Thank you very much for sharing the work that we're doing in the county and in District 3 with everyone at the Del Rey Alliance. I'm here as commissioner, but I'm also on the ballot in November running for re-election. Well, I wasn't elected. I was appointed in January last year, so I'm not technically running for re-election. I'm going for another 4 years. I'm here to listen to what the rest of the candidates here have to say. Thank you very much for letting me say a few words.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Terrific. And we have our school board chair, Karen Brill. Always good to see you. We need the education.
Thank you so much, Dr. Vinocour. So, school's out, but whoever said schools and education is dull, because it is not. A few years ago, you may remember that we were told that we had to put the words "In God We Trust" in every school. And so a very creative teacher contacted me and said, why don't you put the state seal? It says, "In God We Trust." So we were able to do that and comply with the law. Then this last legislative session, we were told you can have chaplains now in your schools. But our board said, no, we believe in the separation of church and state. Now we're told that Louisiana, they have to post the 10 Commandments. And I believe it's Oklahoma that's now going to have the Bible in every school. I've got 2 words for all of this, oy vey. Okay, so just so you know, we will fight for the separation of church and state. And we really need to focus on education. So yesterday I did receive our test scores. In reading, some of the scores were great, but you might have seen in the Palm Beach Post today, 7th grade math got tanked. They dropped below average 11 points. So we have our work ahead of us. I'm looking forward to the superintendent's plan. And finally, on July 17th, we have a hearing, which I will be running, because a parent in my district is challenging 3 books. You know, we only had 1 challenge in the past, and that was the Bible, and that was challenged by Rabbi Barry Silver. But he did it kind of tongue-in-cheek, although he was serious. The 3 books that are being challenged are The O'Reilly Factor for Kids, A Survival Guide for America's Families by Bill O'Reilly and Charles Flowers, The Fountainhead by Ayn Rand, and The Taking by Dean Koontz. So the reason that he said he was coming to us is he read in the Orlando Sentinel that the schools in Orlando had banned those books. And so he's coming to us to do the same or to label them. And I can tell you that I already know my board is not going to go for it, because we do not believe that any person has the right to ban a book or stop a child from reading a book. And so these books appear in the library. They are it's in the high school library. They're not mandatory reading for any student. If a parent objects to it, they can tell their student that they object. But the bottom line is that we do not believe in banning books in Palm Beach County. Thank you so much.
Thank you for all the work you do. Yes, and we have Mayor Maria Sachs here. For our pre-July 4th celebration.
Happy 4th of July, everybody.
Ready?
We're ready. Yes, you know what? There is a park that really belongs to all of us here at the Alliance. And I wonder how many of you have never been to this park. Bert Aronson's Park, right? The South County, Bert Aronson's Park. We are having there a special 4th of July celebration. And guess what? It's free. Very few things in life today are free, right? Are free. Fireworks up the kazoo. We're going to have the best fireworks in the entire county. In fact, we're going to have so many fireworks, we're going to have a lot of law enforcement fellas there, just in case. So, I want you to come on out. If you need special accommodations, tell Ed before you leave. And I will personally make sure you get a close parking spot. Okay? Because it's a big park. It's a really big park. So if it's hard for you to park way out and then walk through grass, stuff like that, and over kids and pushing teenagers out of the way, you know, tell Ed. Ed will take your name and telephone number. And I will reserve places for you in the VIP parking. All right? I will. And you know why? Because we deserve it. Bert Aronson came from us, right? He's one of us. And that's our park. So it's important that everybody knows that we take ownership. I'm going to tell you a quick little story, if I could, Lori. We had a meeting out at the park with the head of Parks and Recreation here in Palm Beach County. Because some of the folks complained that there wasn't enough shade and that they wanted a biggie doggy park out there. You know, doggy parks are very, very important. So somebody brought up the fact that we needed a big doggy park, bigger doggy park. So then they said, well, you know, we'd like to have a food truck by the doggy park. And I said, you want a food? We'll get you a food truck. And then a lady who had her dog with her, and the dog was like, yeah, food trucks, hot dogs, you know. And she said, if you get a food truck, the dogs will fight. Because, you know, dogs don't fight when they get into these doggy parks. Personally, I have a couple of dogs. I've never taken them to the doggy park. Don't tell them. But dogs get out in the doggy park and they just play, right? Until you get a food truck. So another lady, who's obviously signal, had a cute little dog. She said, Mayor, instead of a food truck, I wonder if we could have a cocktail truck. Now, I can't promise any alcohol out there, but it was a pretty good idea. Anybody wanted to be an entrepreneur, make a little money, have a little frozen drinks out there, probably go very well with the folks. Anyway, I want to wish you a happy 4th of July. Folks, our country, we're too torn apart. I don't even like to watch the news anymore. And so what I'm asking you to do is wherever you are, if you come to a park or if you're just at home watching, you know, 4th of July celebrations on TV, let's all remember that no matter what, we are Americans. And this is our birthday. Everybody celebrate, celebrate. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much for coming. Thank you all. We're going to begin the program after a 2-minute commercial from the folks who brought us our breakfast today, Plastridge Insurance. Thank you for sponsoring this breakfast. And in the meantime, if our judges, 3 judges, can come up there and take their seats. Judge candidates.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Dahlia Boucher. I am a Commercial Alliance Sales Executive with Plastridge Insurance, and I'm so happy to be here. We are very grateful for the opportunity to sponsor your breakfast and be a part of both this group and your community. I do have a raffle that I would like to raffle right now, if possible.
Okay, first I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Jason Wantro of Plastridge Insurance. I know we're going towards the end here, so I'll make this as short and simple as possible. Also, I know it's everyone's favorite topic, insurance, so I'll try to make this quick for everybody. So, Dahlia and I, we specialize in writing insurance for condominiums and HOAs. A little background about Plastridge Insurance is we were founded in 1919 here locally in Delray Beach, which means we are 105 years old and we're still family owned and operated. Our company specializes in running insurance for condos and HOAs. It's really our bread and butter. Dahlia and I would appreciate the opportunity to review any of your master association policies, and if we're able to make any coverage or pricing improvements, we'll schedule a meeting with the board to discuss. And that's it for us, and then right now Dahlia is going to roll the raffle machine and we're going to see who wins. And we are giving away walkie-talkies.
Yes.
Just in time for hurricanes.
Miss Susie.
Miss Susie's going to do it.
Miss Susie. Here we go. Oh my gosh. Okay.
All right, and the winner is Elaine Marsh.
Congratulations, right back here. Thank you so much.
Happy 4th of July.
Okay, everyone, can we have a demonstration? Thank you so much for all your contributions here and your sponsorship. Can we please have the timing parameters from John Gentithis? He's going to be our timer. Tell them, our candidates, how a 5 to 7 minute speech works.
Yes. At 5 minutes, you'll see the green light. At 6, the yellow. At 7, the red, and 30 seconds to wrap up.
Yes, and you don't need to take the entire 5 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes, you don't have to, but you have that time. We do this everything is on an even keel here, and everyone's given me a little introduction, so I'll do the introduction and then they will speak. And we're going to start off with Lourdes Casanova. She is the founding attorney of Casanova Law, a Palm Beach County law firm providing representation in the areas of criminal law, DUI, fish and wildlife, sealing and expunging, juvenile court, traffic tickets, civil small claims, and immigration. Lourdes began her legal career as a prosecutor with the Palm Beach County State Attorney's Office, having litigated thousands of cases in our judiciary. Lourdes has worked in the criminal, civil, and traffic divisions. She is the immediate past president of the Palm Beach County Hispanic Bar Association, is an active member of multiple legal organizations, a volunteer for nonprofits including Special Olympics and the Jewish Federation. She received her BA and Juris Doctor degrees from the University of Florida, and she lives in Royal Palm Beach with her 2 beloved rescue dogs, Mouse and Fox. Take it away, Lourdes Casanova.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Oh, come on, it's almost the 4th of July. Let's try again. Good morning.
Good morning.
That's so much better. Thank you for having me here today. My name is Lourdes Casanova, and I am running for County Court Judge. I stand before you today with immense pride and gratitude, not just as a judicial candidate, but as a testament to the American dream. I am first-generation American. My family fled Cuba to escape persecution. And by persecution, I mean that my mother was subjected to forced labor, my uncle and grandfather were beaten by government officials, and my uncle's father was taken from his home, imprisoned, and then executed by firing squad. I understand, and I learned at an early age the importance of justice and fairness. I understand how precious liberty is and the role our courts have in preserving it. And it is my family's experience that brings me here today that taught me to value the law, to pursue a career in law, and now a judicial seat. My parents arrived here with little more than hope and determination. I saw them work tirelessly to provide a better life for their children, and they inspired me to work hard and to give back to the community that has given me so much. This is why I went from ESOL student to valedictorian to prosecutor to successful small business owner of a multi-practice firm. And I'm going to tell you a little more about my qualifications and experience that make me the best choice for county court judge. But before I do, I want to put it into context and explain a little bit about our county court system. So county court oversees a variety of citizen disputes, traffic offenses, misdemeanor crimes, and monetary disputes of $50,000 or less. It's often known as the People's Court because a lot of people represent themselves since they can't afford an attorney. Naturally, these people aren't attorneys, and so they don't know the rules of procedure, they don't know the rules of evidence, they don't know the law. So a county court judgeship requires patience, compassion, and a heart of service. At the same time, the caseload is really high, so it requires efficiency, decision-making, and multitasking. It also requires knowledge of various areas of law, criminal, civil, and traffic. And of course, as with any court and any jurisdiction, it requires adherence to the rule of law. I am the most qualified candidate for this position because of my well-rounded experience, my diligence, my demeanor, my dedication to the community, and my commitment to our constitutional principles. As a prosecutor, I sought justice for Palm Beach County. And while I did, I got a lot of trial experience, I litigated in the county court daily, and I managed a caseload of 300 to 400 cases a day. As a private attorney, I have still focused on county court cases, I protect my clients' constitutional rights, and I have litigated in the criminal, civil, and traffic divisions. But I'm not just a lawyer. I'm a small business owner who wears many hats. I'm also a community leader who has run a bar association at the same time as running a business, and I'm the only candidate who has done that. I'm involved with several legal organizations, including the Palm Beach County Hispanic Bar Association, where I was president, Palm Beach County Bar, and the Florida Association for Women Lawyers, to name a few. But I also believe in engaging in organizations outside of the law. And two examples, as my biography said, are Jewish Federation and Special Olympics. As a lifelong resident of Palm Beach County, I believe that judges should not only serve in the courtroom, they should serve outside of it and in our community. The Judicial Nominating Commission is a body responsible for recommending to the governor who should be judge. And they have nominated me 4 times for county court judge. Those nominations were in 2022 and 2023. The community also took notice of my experience and qualifications, and I am proud to announce the endorsements of our local police, our local firefighters, and the National Organization for Women. I also have the support of over 220 committee members, including attorneys and community leaders, one of them being our former clerk and comptroller, Sharon Bach. And while I am extremely grateful for all of this support, it is your vote that matters the most. I am asking for your vote on August 20th because I am the only candidate with all of the qualifications that would benefit the county court bench. County court experience in criminal, civil, and traffic, executive leadership skills by way of running a business and a bar association at the same time, and active community involvement. I am deeply honored by the chance, especially on the eve of 4th of July, I'm deeply honored by the chance to serve on the bench and continue our legacy in Palm Beach County of justice, fairness, and equality. By upholding our laws and remaining faithful to our Constitution, I will do my part in ensuring that the American dream is alive for all. Thank you very much. Lourdes Casanova, candidate for County Court Judge.
Attorney Douglas Leifert is a 34-year Palm Beach County courtroom lawyer. He served as an assistant state attorney here in Palm Beach County and then private practice when he formed Leifert & Leifert 29 years ago. He is based in Palm Beach County and has been in the same office in Delray Beach for over 22 years. He has been the attorney of record on over 50,000 cases since 1995 in various divisions of our courts. He was raised in Roslyn, New York on the North Shore of Long Island and moved here in '83 to attend college and law school. He's been a South Palm Beach County resident for 32 years. His wife Debbie and he have been married for over 25 years, have 2 adult sons, and they've raised together. They've been residing in the same home in Boca since 1999. He's running for judge here. So let's hear from Douglas.
Thank you. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
I gotta say, it's quite humbling to listen to someone talk about you, and thank you, Dr. Viticore. I appreciate the introduction. Good morning, Delray Alliance. Good morning. Good morning. I am attorney Douglas Leifert, and I am running to become your next Palm Beach County Court Judge. I want to thank Delray Alliance. I want to thank our elected officials. I want to thank our first responders for coming today. I also want to thank you, Dr. Viticore, for hosting this important event. I have enjoyed coming to your meetings. This is my 4th or 5th meeting here this year. I really have enjoyed meeting the delegates, the members, listening to your conversations amongst each other, telling me what the issues are in the communities that you have, and watching you come together as a group to make the decisions that make our communities better places to live. I'm also here, as Dr. Viticore mentioned, I'm also here with my beautiful wife, Debbie. We have been married for 25 years. Together, we've raised 2 adult sons. My son Isaac is interning actually at the state attorney's office this summer as a prosecutor. He has dreams and visions of following in his dad's footsteps. And my youngest son is finishing up his graduation trip. He just graduated from Washington University in St. Louis, and he will be a software engineer working for United Healthcare in Boston. Without them, all their love, support, and encouragement, I definitely would not be here today. So I am running to serve as your next Palm Beach County Court Judge because you deserve a judge with qualifications, experience, and temperament to be on the bench. I know this is not a debate, but I'm going to say that there is no one person, certainly the person to my right, who is the only one who is qualified and the only one who has the experience to serve. You have 3 qualified, experienced candidates here, and it's up to you to decide which one is the better fit to become a judge. I just want to say that, and the rest of this is going to be a forum. I've been a Palm Beach County courtroom attorney for 34 years. I started my career as a local state prosecutor in the state attorney's office, and I left after 5 years to found my own law firm with my brother, Leifert & Leifert. We've been servicing Palm Beach County, and since 1995, I personally have been attorney of record on over 50,000 cases, and that's according to our wonderful clerk of the court record, Mr. Abruzzo. Before I tell you more about why I'm running for judge, I want to tell you a little story. Sorry about the glasses, they're kind of like a clutch. In any event, I didn't grow up wanting to be an attorney. I never wanted to be an attorney. I grew up on the North Shore of Long Island, underneath the final approach path to Kennedy International Airport. I watched, some of you may be familiar, over my head, every 90 seconds to 2 minutes, there was a different plane from a different country, from a different part of the world, flying over my house on final approach. I saw planes from Europe, from Eastern Europe, Western Europe, when it was still a thing back then, South America, North America, and Asia, fly over my head all the time. I even had the privilege of watching the Concorde fly over my house twice a day, and also the privilege of having classes interrupted at my high school because when it flew over, you couldn't hear anything else but that airplane. But because of that experience growing up, my eyes were always in the sky, and I really, really, really envisioned myself being a commercial airline pilot, flying around the world, taking places to wherever they want to go, and getting to travel myself, you know, as a living. However, being raised in a traditional Jewish home, my parents had different ideas. Their expectations were a doctor or a lawyer, especially my mom. Doug, you need to be a lawyer, you're a natural lawyer, you need to be a lawyer. I gotta tell you, I'm really thankful and grateful that I listened to her and chose to be an attorney. Without their wisdom and support, I wouldn't be here today. I've had a wonderful career, both as a prosecutor, as a private attorney, helping tens of thousands of people, and I'm even in a position today where I can run for Palm Beach County Court Judge. I'm thankful for their advice today, now, and I appreciate their advice today now more than I was able to then, because now, as a parent, I really get what they were trying to do, and I appreciate them, and my only regret is that they're not here today to see this today, to see me running for judge and seeing the fruits of their labor. But because of that experience, them pushing me through law school, and me going to law school and getting my job as a prosecutor, I've been in court almost every day since graduation of law school. Before I passed the bar exam, I had to work and then go at night to study for the bar exam. I handle multiple cases almost every day in different courtrooms, in different divisions of the courts, and sometimes even in different courthouses, mostly here in Palm Beach County. I practiced in almost every division of our courts, and I've been the attorney of record, as I told you, on tens of thousands of cases, and that number just grows daily. I handle criminal cases, traffic cases, misdemeanors, felonies, domestic violence, injunction cases. I've done some small claims cases. I've done some landlord-tenant cases. I've done family court cases. Don't particularly like them, but I've done them. I've been in almost every division of the court. My biggest strength comes from my understanding. My biggest strength comes from the experience of representing all these tens of thousands of people. I've helped all these tens of thousands of people navigate the tough legal decisions and personal choices that they have to make in their lives. Those are the same decisions and challenges that a judge has to face every day in court. My professional experience helps me be ready to serve you from day one. My personal experience as a family man raising children in this community that are going to make a living in this community, well, at least one of them, tells you how important this community is to me and why I seek to serve the community. As Ms. Casanova said, county court is often referred to as the people's court. And if you think back to like Judge Wapner and Judge Judy, there's some crazy stuff that goes on in people's court. And it's everyday life, it's everyday drama, and I found myself just addicted to that, addicted to everyday good people finding themselves in an unusual or unfortunate situation and having the opportunity to help them. So my experience comes with helping them navigate the process, and I believe that the navigation of the process is the same thing that a judge has to do. A judge has to help the litigants get to where they want to go and get to the right place while applying the law. I'm also proud to be the first lawyer in my family. I started my career as a prosecutor at the State Attorney's Office. I started the Crimes Against the Elderly Unit, protecting our most vulnerable citizens from abuse and exploitation. I also started the Environmental Crime Unit, helping to preserve our environment and the community that we all live in, most importantly, the water table. These experiences give me a unique opportunity to help our most vulnerable citizens and protect the environment. And I've started my own practice. After 34 years of experience, I will be ready to serve the citizens of Palm Beach County from day one. I will bring my decades of experience with people, cases, and law to run a fair and efficient courtroom. So I may have not fulfilled my obligations or our childhood dreams of flying an airplane to faraway places, but I succeeded in guiding and navigating a tremendous amount of cases and people through our court system with great success. That gives you a strong indication as to what type of judge I will be. Fair, efficient, and a principle in moving justice through the court in a safe and efficient manner. When you vote this election day, please consider that professional and life experiences matter to properly serve the citizens of Palm Beach County and our court system. It would be an honor to serve as your next county court judge. Becoming a judge should be a capstone to a successful legal career. And my qualifications and experience have prepared me to serve you and all the residents of our county. With 34 years of daily court experience across most of the court's divisions, my knowledge of the law, and a successful private practice helping tens of thousands of people, I assure you that I will run a fair and efficient courtroom from day one. When casting your ballot, I ask that you vote for Douglas Lightford for County Court Judge. Thank you very much.
Jean Marie Middleton is a longtime Palm Beach County resident with a 38-year legal career practicing complex civil litigation. She has served as legal counsel for several municipalities, 2 Fortune 500 companies, and 2 of the largest school districts in the United States, including her current job as Assistant General Counsel for the Palm Beach County School District. Jean Marie Middleton.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you first and foremost for the gift of your time here today and allowing us to introduce ourselves. I am Jean Marie Middleton. I am the proud daughter of a Navy veteran. I've been married for 20 years to an Army veteran. I have been in this community for over 20 years. As she has said, I currently serve as Assistant General Counsel for the Palm Beach County School District. I also have served as a Florida Supreme Court certified mediator since 2009. I currently serve in a quasi-judicial capacity as a voluntary judge for youth and teen court. I started this service in 1998 in Miami-Dade County and continued that service. That is a system where juveniles are arrested for misdemeanor crimes, and they are allowed to be sanctioned by a jury of their peers. And I serve as the judge to preside over that. I have tried numerous complex civil jury trials, bench trials, arbitration cases in almost every area of the law, including employment and labor, landlord-tenant, bankruptcy, land use, and property claims. I am former in-house counsel for 2 Fortune 500 corporations where, again, I tried various areas of the law, including complex contracts and civil disputes. I am the former in-house counsel and chief of litigation of the Miami-Dade School District. In addition to managing all of the litigation, I also handled my own load of cases in the state courts, an arbitration level. I also, at that time, handled my own appeals in the 3rd District Court of Appeals, the 4th District Court of Appeals, and the Federal 11th Circuit Court of Appeals. I have successfully drafted complex motions and orders that have been accepted not only at our state court level, but at the appellate level. Drafting orders and drafting complex decisions is a key quality of a county court judge. I believe that I am the only candidate in this race that has that experience. I have made law on 2 issues that are in the 4th District Court of Appeal as it relates to jury instructions and as it relates to the right statutes that are to be applied. And again, those are qualities that would serve well as a county court judge. I have successfully participated in drafting pleadings and in representing the school board while at the same time managing Department of Attorneys and support staff. Again, while at the same time handling a complex level of cases, not only at the state level, but also at the administrative level with the Division of Administrative Hearings, the Public Employee Relations Commission, the Unemployment Commission. I have handled cases at most every level. I have been shortlisted 4 times and my name submitted to the governors for both county court and circuit court. This has been the first opportunity that has been best for myself and my family to find an open seat to run for county court judge, to take my 38 years of complex litigation to the people of Palm Beach County. I was also elected unopposed and recently installed as president-elect of the Palm Beach County Bar Association. I have served on that board in various capacities and have chaired many committees. I have served as president of the F. Malcolm Cunningham Bar Association, while at the same time managing my own caseload, supervising other attorneys. One of the proudest accomplishments I have is when I became the chief of litigation for the Miami-Dade School Board. One of my first acts was to create an electronic case management system. Managing cases and being able to move the docket is an important quality of a county court judge. I have had that experience for one of the largest school districts in the nation. I have served as chair of the Florida Bar Professionalism Committee for the entire state. I have served as co-chair of the Ethics Committee for the 15th Judicial Circuit. Again, all while managing in-house litigation, a staff of attorneys and support staff. In my current position, in addition to managing a staff of attorneys and support personnel, I also am responsible for drafting policies, drafting complex legal opinions on various areas that come before the board. When it comes to being able to be efficient, I believe I have demonstrated that ability. I have a long history of community service in addition to my legal career. I currently serve as as registration coordinator for His Daily Bread Food Pantry. We serve the poor every second and fourth Saturday. I've been doing that for over 22 years. I'm on the board of the Boys Town of Palm Beach County. I have served in the community as a guardian ad litem, a foster parent, and one of my proudest achievements is I adopted my daughter after having served as a foster parent, and that has given me 4 beautiful grandchildren that my husband and I co-parent. I believe that the depth and breadth of my experience makes me uniquely qualified to serve as your next county court judge. Thank you for your time and attention here today.
Thank you all. If you can leave the microphones, of course, and if you could take your name cards with you. And if the 4 state attorney candidates, please come up with your cards, bring your cards. Okay, thank you very much. The judges are going to leave. And because they were nonpartisan, they got 5 to 7 minutes. Now, these candidates are from any party that they could be from. And they can say what party they're from if they want, but we are a nonpartisan organization. So all the future candidates here are going to be speaking 4 to 6 minutes, which is almost 7 minutes. So, okay, and 4 to 6 minutes. So John, can you please give us the timing parameters for that and show that to the candidates?
Yes, 4 to 6 minutes. At 4 minutes, you'll see the green light. At 5 minutes, you'll see the yellow. At 6 minutes, you'll see the red, and 30 seconds to wrap up.
Terrific. Thank you so much. And we'll start out. They've drawn for position to speak. Our first, Craig Williams, is currently a Chief Assistant State Attorney as part of Dave Arenberg's leadership team. He supervises 45 felony attorneys and oversees 6 felony units. He began his law career at the Palm Beach County State Attorney's Office in 1993 and has been a prosecutor for almost 30 years. He left the State Attorney's Office in 2010 to practice criminal defense law, but after 3 years returned when Dave Arenberg was elected in 2012 and asked Craig to come back to the office. Craig has been married to Liz Carantes of CBS 12 News for 37 years, and they have 2 adult children, Dr. Casey Williams and Dr. Emma Williams.
Thanks, Doctor.
everybody. Thanks for, can you guys hear me? All right.
If you could leave it on when you leave, it would be good.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for having us. We're blessed that you guys are so involved and you want to care about your community. So to me, this is the most important race that's going on in Palm Beach County in August. And the reason is because your public safety matters. That's what our job is as the state attorney, is to make sure that you have great quality of life and that crimes are dealt with appropriately so that you guys don't have to look over your shoulder and worry about being victims of crime. And God forbid if you ever are the victim of a crime or one of your family members, that they get justice from the right state attorney. And I'll tell you why it's so important. So all of us are known to all the police officers. And your Palm Beach County PBA that represents 5,000 local members of your law enforcement, do you know who they endorsed? This guy right here. Who do you think knows better about what goes on at the state attorney's office than all your police officers that are out there fighting to keep you guys safe every single day? That's why they endorse me. So I'll tell you where my passion comes from. Unfortunately, when I was 13 years old, my brother was killed in a horrible car accident. He was a passenger, it's 47 years ago, I think. He was a passenger in a motor vehicle that his friend was driving, and his friend was driving 95 miles an hour, lost control, and hit a telephone pole. And unfortunately, that happened on Mother's Day morning, and he died 4 days later on my father's birthday. And it was so devastating to our family and to my parents that they couldn't recover from it, and they just packed up the family and we moved to Florida. That happened in New Jersey. They were so devastated. And I mean, my parents still suffer. My father's passed away. They still suffer from it. And then so we came down to Florida to get away from that. And then we didn't have much money. I didn't grow up with much. When I was 16 years old, I worked at a gas station down in Broward County in Oakland Park. And I'm closing down the gas station at 9 o'clock at night, and a guy comes in with a baby, and he robs me at gunpoint. And he sticks a gun in my face. He threatens to kill me. He beats me over the head with that firearm to knock me unconscious. I pretended like I was unconscious. But luckily, I got enough information about him, being able to identify him. The police were able to find him. He was caught. 16-year-old kid. I had to do a live lineup. Nowadays, they do everything by photographs, but I had to do a live lineup. Picked him out in the live lineup. He went to trial. They accused me of being a liar. That was his defense. Had a high-priced lawyer. And the prosecutor who handled the case, she was so kind. It was her first serious case she ever handled. She was so kind and treated me so well and was so concerned about getting justice for me and making sure he didn't do this to anybody else. She's the one that made me want to do this for a living. At 16 years old, that's what an impact she had on me. And that's why I fight so hard for victims on cases, because I know what it's like to be a victim. I have tried more than 500 jury trials. That's unheard of in Palm Beach. It's unheard of anywhere for someone to try that much. But you guys know, you see the commercials all the time, and you know there's good lawyers and there's not so good lawyers. But you hear the commercials. The good lawyers are the ones that go in there and go to court, go to trial, and they fight for the victims. That's how you get the best justice for our community. That's how you protect everybody and make sure that you guys don't have to look over your shoulder. That we're keeping the right people locked up and we're getting help for the people that need help. Because not everybody's bad. But if they're bad and they're out there hurting people, you want somebody like me who has a proven track record. Let me tell you how proven my track record is. When Dave hired me back in 2013 to come and run the felony unit, you guys wouldn't know this because there's not a lot of transparency at the state attorney's office. That's your office. There should be tons of transparency. You should know exactly how well we're doing, what kind of job we're doing. We were dead last in the state of Florida for conviction rate. Dead last. They were doing a terrible job, which is part of the reason why I left. If you have a bad state attorney, you know what happens? All your good prosecutors leave because we're underpaid and we're overworked, and if you're not appreciated, you're gonna go get another job and make a lot more money and do something that you can help your family with. So a lot of people left under him. Well, when I came back, it took us from dead last. We are number 3 in the state of Florida. Number 3, we have a 95% conviction rate, and we're only 1 percentage point out of being the best circuit in the entire state of Florida. That's what I've done for you guys. So that means protecting you, fighting for you, and I did all that with high turnover. So I'm constantly having to support and train all these new prosecutors that come in. And these are serious cases. These are the felony cases. They're everything from drug possession all the way up to murder. So it's the stuff that has the effect on you guys that's so important. Dr. Lori told you, I've been married to Liz Kanathis for 37 years. She has made me a better human being, by far. I am so blessed to be married to that woman. She has raised 2 phenomenal children. I think I helped a little bit. The good news is they're both dentists, so Liz and I are going to have nice white teeth, but we're never going to have any money. This costs us a fortune to put them through dental school. But the goal here, though, is to make sure that you guys want a state attorney that is going to fight to make sure you have the safest community possible. And that's what you get with me, and that's my proven track record. I wish you all the best, and happy 4th of July.
Alexia Cox is Deputy Chief Assistant State Attorney at the Palm Beach County State Attorney's Office, where she supervises attorneys in the Domestic Violence Unit, the North and South County Satellite Offices in Palm Beach Gardens and Delray Beach, the County Court Misdemeanor Division, and the Conviction Review Unit. As Deputy Chief, she works closely with State Attorney Dave Amber to protect our communities each and every day. Over Alexia's 18-year legal career, she has successfully prosecuted hundreds of cases, including first-degree murders, domestic violence, felonies, and other violent crimes. A community servant, her service to the community does not end when the workday does. She regularly volunteers her time, talents, and resources to support numerous community organizations, and she'll tell you more about herself. Alexia Cox.
Great, thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity, Dr. Lori Vinokur, on the board here for the Delray Alliance. All of you, thank you for getting up this morning and coming out to see us. My name is Alexia Cox, and I am running to be your next state attorney. I am a Democrat, so I'll be on the Democratic primary in August, but I want to tell you a little bit more about this position and who I am and my background so that you get a feel as to why I'm your best candidate. The role of state attorney is a role about trust. And the way that you earn trust is by engagement, by listening, by being responsive, and by getting to know the people. And so if you know one thing about me, it's that I am community. I'm about the community, I'm about working in the community, and that's what I have been doing for the entire time that I've served as a prosecutor here in Palm Beach County. Born and raised here in Palm Beach County, this is the place that I've always called home. It's the place that I love, and there's no one that's going to fight harder or care more about the people of Palm Beach County and their safety than I will. My parents live here, so when I talk about, protecting our seniors and making sure that Palm Beach County is a safe place for us all to live, to work, to play, to enjoy 4th of July activities, it's personal to me because the people that I love most in the world, they live here. They're senior citizens, right? And so when I talk about the trust that it takes to be the state attorney, I want you to know that people you trust, such as Senator Tina Polsky, Senator Lori Berman, Representative Kelly Skidmore, they trust me. They've endorsed me. Our police officers, 2 of our police unions in the state of Florida have endorsed me. That's the Fraternal Order of Police for Florida, and that's also the International Union of Police Associations, which they don't even have a local police union here in Palm Beach County, but they wanted to get involved in this race because many of the officers live here. So they also selected me as their candidate as the person that they believe will keep Palm Beach County safe. I have served in this community as a prosecutor for over 16 years now, supervising attorneys in our domestic violence unit and in other units of the office, as Dr. Lori just read off to you. And I will tell you that I take pride each and every day getting up, going into that office, and working for you. When I talk about trust, it's to make sure that you have someone that you know that you can regularly speak to. I was here in October. Many of you were at the October meeting. I served as the guest speaker. I wasn't campaigning, but I served to come out to this community to talk to you about domestic violence. If you were here, there was a speaker, and that was me. Because I know how important it is to educate our community, to engage. So my role as state attorney and as prosecutor is not just prosecuting cases. I've been doing that. I know how to prosecute any case that you put in front of me. But it's about engaging our community so that you know what the state attorney's office does, how well we're doing. You have someone who will listen, who will attend these meetings and talk to you. And when there are issues that are going on, you have someone that you can call on to make sure that they are fighting for you and also being your voice in that courtroom. One of the ideas that I have to make sure that we're not only transparent, but that we're engaging, is to create an office of engagement. An office of engagement to come to your meetings, to come to your HOA meetings if you like, so that we can really talk and engage and learn about what's going on with you as it relates to public safety and what's going on in our office as it relates to public safety. In addition, I've been the candidate that has been first and most vocal about establishing our hate crimes unit, because I think it's important that not only do we prosecute the hate crimes, and we will do that, we've been doing that, but that we also have someone out in the community educating our community. Just as recently as I think the past week, the governor signed off on a definition of what anti-Semitism is. People in the community need to know what that definition is so that we can go out and make sure that if there are crimes that are going on in our community, we know who to report them to, how to report them, and what type of sentences and options are available for people who commit those types of crimes. In addition, I want a robust elder crimes unit that not just focuses on exploitation of the elderly, but also the crimes that we see in our communities that are impacting our seniors. I want to make sure that we have someone and all of the resources in place to fight and be on the forefront of keeping our seniors and all of our communities safe. Everyone in this room is important. You are important to me, your residents, even though everyone isn't here, but the people that you represent, they're important to me. And I will make sure that you feel that you have a voice and a place at your state attorney's office. That is my pledge. I don't make a lot of promises, but that is one. So in addition to, being a longtime prosecutor, I want you to understand why I'm qualified as a leader. Currently, I've been appointed by our Chief Judge of Palm Beach County to serve as chair of our local professionalism committee. I also serve in leadership roles for our Florida Bar, which is the organization that licenses all attorneys in the state of Florida. I was appointed by our Florida Bar president to be on multiple committees, as well as chair our professional ethics committee. So I've done the leadership in the state attorney's office, and I've been a leader, a phenomenal leader in our local bar, as well as our Florida Bar. I look forward to serving you. I look forward to serving you as I serve my parents and my family members, everyone who is here, and I will treat you as someone who is respectful and is responsive and who you can trust. So at the end of this, I not only want your vote, but I want to earn your trust, because trust is what keeps our community safe. Community is what makes public safety work, and I hope to be your candidate on the November ballot for the Democrats, and I look forward to serving as your next state attorney. So thank you all again for your time.
Forrest Friedman started his legal career as an assistant DA in the Bronx, as well as 4+ years in Boston, Massachusetts. He has over 38 years of legal experience. He has held leadership positions as the owner of Nations Mortgage Bank, head of his Coral Springs Masonic Lodge, leader of the Cub Scouts, president of the Polo Republican Club, and his favorite activity, coaching baseball. He was an adjunct professor at Nova Southeastern University, and proud to have had the ability to raise his family in Palm Beach County. Forrest Friedman.
Thank you very much. Happy birthday, America. Thank you, everybody, for coming today. Thank you, Delray Alliance, for having all of us here and giving us a chance to talk. As you know, I'm your Republican candidate for state attorney, and I'm running because this office needs a little bit of improvement. We have some great candidates up here. We all have different visions on how to run a state attorney's office to make it more efficient, to make it more transparent, and things that I've learned since I've been campaigning, that we do need a little bit more transparency, as all of the candidates have said. As an attorney who started out as a prosecutor, I'm going to end my career as a prosecutor. I enjoyed it very much. I was also a special public defender. I've been a teen court judge, and I've tried hundreds and hundreds of both bench and jury trials. Some of the people that I put away a long time ago are still sitting where they belong. I believe the job of the prosecutor is to prosecute first. You have a public defender, and they're supposed to use whatever technical defenses there are to help their clients, or a private attorney, and the judge is supposed to use leniency. However, if people are linking their hands across 95, or blocking your access to hospitals, or protesting in places which prohibit you from doing what you need to do, whether it's in school or anywhere else, I want to assure you that, coupled with the sheriff and with our great law enforcement team throughout Palm Beach County that we will prosecute people who take advantage of our laws. I'm a compassionate conservative. That means I do believe in diversion with teeth for first offenders, because we want to get people and keep people out of the criminal justice system. In that same vein, I believe in heavy prosecution for repeat and violent offenders, because those people are trying to hurt you. Whether Craig says it, whether Alicia says it, whether Greg says it, we are all here to keep Palm Beach County safe. That is the most important thing. The governor just signed a bill that gives more teeth to the protection of the elderly, whether it's identity theft, whether it are crimes that will affect if a contractor is coming to somebody's home and trying to fleece you out of your hard-earned money. I don't care if you're a Republican, Democrat, Independent, or no party affiliation. Nobody wants to be the victim of crime, do we? And if we are, we want our state attorney to represent us. The victim first, the citizen first. The criminal, yeah, the criminal has some rights, but they have a public defender. They have a special public defender. Our job is to prosecute first. That's why I got in this race. I would not have done it. I'd just still be a travel baseball coach for 17 and 18-year-olds. I was a coach at Donna Klein Jewish Academy at St. Andrew's School, and I'd rather be doing that. But I saw David Arenberg, he was retiring. And when you have an open seat, you need to give all of you choices. Now you're right, I'm the Republican, I'm the conservative. I'm the one who says first-degree murder, 30 years ago, when I started practicing law in 1986, that's more than 30 years ago, that's 38 years ago, you used to commit murder, and it was a foregone conclusion that you would either get life in prison or, even worse, you might get capital punishment. Now, for some reason, you commit murder, and now it's 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. And the deterrent effect, or what the state attorney's office used to do, has lessened. And now we have more murders. Now some people think, they look around this country and you hear in different states, they say their crime rates are low, but that's because the state attorney's office is not prosecuting criminals in those cities. I represent the alternative view. I'm here to keep you safe. I'm the Republican. I do not want a progressive to come down here and not prosecute criminals. I think that's dangerous. I don't want Palm Beach County to become like New York City, Chicago, or Los Angeles. I will hire the best Democrats, Republicans, independents, and no party affiliation so that they can serve you and keep you all safe, because that's the most important thing. Again, I'd like to thank my wife, Jamie Friedman, of 23 years, my son, Nash Friedman, and my daughter, Blaze Friedman. They're both attending Brandeis University and going to be lawyers, and Lisa Massey for coming here today. Again, I want to thank you for getting up. I want to thank you, Delray Alliance, and I'm asking you to vote for me, Forrest Friedman, on August 20th, because I'm going to be fair and square. One system of justice for all. I don't care who commits the crime, better be prepared to do the time if I'm elected your next state attorney. Thank you very much.
Craig Learman has almost 40 years of experience as a criminal defense trial lawyer in Palm Beach County. He has worked directly with all divisions of the state attorney's office. He was born in Queens, graduated from University of Florida and Nova Law School. He's married to Deborah, 40 years, and next year it'll be 40 years, and he has 2 children and a grandson. A little extra here, he's a supporter of UF sports and is a big Panthers, Marlins, and Heat fan. Yay. Greg Learman.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Greg Lerman. I'm running for State Attorney of Palm Beach County.
14 months ago, we learned in Palm Beach County that Dave Arenberg was not going to run for re-election. So first, before we do anything else, let's hear a round of applause for the service that Dave Arenberg has given Palm Beach County. It is well deserved. He served his county well. But one of the things that Dave said about a week and a half ago as to why he wasn't running was he thought there's a need for change and a need for a new perspective. I have been a criminal defense attorney for 39 years. 18 months of that I actually taught prosecutors, interns, the CLI, Certified Legal Interns for Nova Southeastern Law School, how to be prosecutors. So I know how to teach. I know how to help train good prosecutors. I know what it means to be a prosecutor. As a defense attorney for 39 years, I have touched each and every part of that office, whether it be out in Belle Glade, whether it be in county court, whether it be in appeals, whether it be in felonies. I have tried every case from the least serious to at least 15 homicide cases and handled in excess of those 15 homicide cases. Sometimes, as Dave said, there's a need for change, a need for a new perspective. And you get that change, you get that perspective from the outside looking in, not simply by lifting from within, raising somebody from within. He meant what he said, a need for change. I bring that. This county needs help to deal with serious issues of mental health and drug addiction and homelessness and elder fraud and other generalized fraud with violent crime. As a criminal defense attorney, I have dealt with the people that commit those crimes, as well as the victims of those crimes. I have a deep understanding of the causes of crime. Some people, violent criminals, need to go away. Just because I've represented a homicide defendant, a first-degree murder defendant, doesn't mean I have to like my client. However, I understand where they come from and how they got there and how we fight it. This county needs a prosecutor that understands that it's not simply about prosecuting. It's more than that. It's reaching out to the stakeholders of Palm Beach County and creating partnerships to fight crime, to keep people, young people especially, from entering the criminal justice system, and if once entering the system, be they as children, juveniles, adults, how we can keep them from coming back into the system. Now, some of those people, you keep them from coming back into the system by putting them away. But most people need help in getting out of the system. This county hasn't been dealing with the mental health crisis. 4 or 5 years ago, we closed at the north end of the county one of the few facilities that made sure that people with mental health problems got their medication, that had a place to stay. And they closed that facility without having a replacement. Now, word is we're going to get a replacement at some point, but it hasn't happened yet. And that, in part, causes a domino effect of homelessness, especially in the north end of the county. This county should be embarrassed by what Sheriff Bradshaw says. Not criticizing Sheriff Bradshaw, but Sheriff Bradshaw says that the Palm Beach County Jail is the #1 provider of mental health care. That's a problem, and we need to solve that problem. Drug addiction is directly related. Drug addiction is directly related to the mental health issue. It is, I just said, a domino effect. We have to fight those things. We have to fight to do a better job keeping people out of the system, and once in the system, getting them out of the system. As to elder fraud, look, as far as online fraud goes, it's a difficult task, and it's primarily a federal task. But for the 14 months I've been running, even before I was running, I was continually getting emails or phone calls of being approached to represent victims of crime of elder fraud where it wasn't being prosecuted. Contractor fraud, is a serious problem. What I call psychic fraud, where psychics take advantage and take tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars from vulnerable citizens. Those happen every day. CNA fraud, and certified nursing assistants. My own mother, when, God rest her soul, before she passed away, she had a CNA. I look in the checkbook, and there's checks being written by her CNA. It happens. It happens all the time. And it just is not being prosecuted. Now, sometimes it's at the feet of law enforcement for blowing it off, quite honestly, to put it plainly. Sometimes it's at the state attorney's office. People need to be protected. Our citizens need to be protected. They deserve a state attorney that understands the dynamics of crime in Palm Beach County and who needs to be severely punished and who simply needs a helping hand through working with the private defense bar, with the public defender's office, and others. Thank you. Go to greglerman.com. There's a whole bunch of videos up there for you to listen to. Thank you.
Thank you all. You please take your cards with you, your name cards. Thank you very much. And we have two candidates for public defender. These are our last two candidates, and they will come up here with their name cards. And right now, I'm going to give you a little commercial. You've got these on your countertop, on your desk. And this is, as he was just saying, about the Mental Health Center in Palm Beach County. Jerome Golden closed up, and South County Mental Health Center took the slack up of the rest. So this is a special December 6th luncheon that we're going to have, and the Alliance is sponsoring it for the South County Mental Health Center for their 50th anniversary.
I know, I'm gonna get a tape. I got $1,000.
Okay, we have just two candidates left. Remember, 4 to 6 minutes. You want to show those lights, please? John?
4 to 6?
Yeah.
4 minutes, you'll get the green. At 5 minutes, you'll get the yellow. At 6 minutes, you'll get the red. And 30 seconds to wrap up.
Okay, Daniel Eisinger grew up in Palm Beach County. And he earned his BA and JD from the University of Florida. He began his career in Palm Beach County Public Defender's Office in December 2003. Over the last 20 years, he's represented clients charged in misdemeanor, felony, and major crime cases, including capital cases in which the state was seeking the death penalty. He has experience supervising both misdemeanor and felony divisions. He oversees 100 lawyers, 100 support staff with a total budget of approximately $18 million. He's married to Amy. They have 3 active sons, Ethan, Micah, and Benjamin, and a rescue pup named Chocolate Chip. Daniel Eisinger.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Good morning, Delray Alliance. Thank you so much for having us, and thank you for hanging in as all of the candidates get a few minutes to speak to you. As the good doctor said, I'm Dan Eisinger, and I'm running for public defender. I am a public defender. I've been a public defender for 20 years. I started right out of law school, and that's where I found my home. I'm the chief assistant right now, so that means I'm second in command at the office. Your elected public defender is Carrie Howitt. You may not recognize her name because she's rarely on the ballot. She has run opposed more years than not, but I've been with her all my career, all 20 years. And I'm humbled to have been able to work with her, and of course I'm honored to have earned her support and endorsement in this race. We are essentially doing this campaign together. So what do public defenders do? I kind of break it down into 2 categories, what we do in court and kind of what we do out of court. In court, our job is essentially to make sure that our clients get equal treatment, fairness, and equity, regardless of how much money they have or don't have in their pockets. So with Greg Lerman's representing you as a private lawyer, my job is to make sure that our lawyers provide the same type of representation. Let me just give you one quick example, which I think exemplifies the equity issue. So for years, some of our cases would have DNA, other forensics, fingerprints type stuff in our cases, right? And we would oftentimes have to hire experts to help us with those cases. And we would pay these scientists $7,000, $10,000 per case. They're doctors. So I realized that that sort of seemed, there was a better way to do it. So instead what I decided to do was start a forensics division in-house. So we went and we recruited lawyers who also had an interest and background in science. And I'm proud to say that we have now 4 lawyers that do that. So if we have a case that has DNA or forensics involved, they try those cases. So we get to save the taxpayers a lot of money while still doing a wonderful job representing those clients in court. I've tried over 175 trials myself, as Lori said. I've done death penalty work. There's no kind of case I haven't tried, and I've earned the respect of judges and prosecutors alike as I do the work. Now, out of court, this is really where my real passion is. I grew up in a home, a dad who was a social worker. Social work was always something that meant so much to me. And I wanted to blend my passion for social work and being a litigator. And that's why I went to the public defender's office. As some of the state attorney candidates mentioned, not everybody deserves to be in jail or prison forever and ever and ever. These folks need help. We have mentally ill clients. We have clients suffering from addiction. And if we can just provide them with a little bit of help, a little bit of service, they're going to get back on track, and they're not going to be threats to you or themselves ever again. So one thing we've done at the Public Defender's Office, we initiated a reentry prison. So out in Sago Palm, it's northwest of here, on Pahokee, we started realizing that people going to prison need to do something productive, something that's going to help them, something that's going to help all of us make sure they don't come back into the system once again. So there are teachers, job coaches, trainers that go into the prison, case managers, so when they get out, they have a place to go, a place to live, a place to work. They have humanity, dignity, so they can be part of our society once again. And we initiated that at the Public Defender's Office. I also wanted to mention something we started about 1.5 years ago now, a misdemeanor mental health court. So I started that because, as Mr. Lerman mentioned, I realized that we have an absolute mental health epidemic in Palm Beach County. Our jail is full of mentally ill people with very low-level offenses. So what we decided to do is bring the providers, bring doctors, bring nurses, bring therapists to the court, introduce them to our clients. And if our clients were willing to engage them, take medication, go to a doctor's appointment, just do something to feel better, then these low-level offenses would be dismissed by the state attorney's office. And it's had wonderful success so far. Most of these folks have not reoffended. They just need a little bit of help. So that's sort of stuff we do out of court, right? So why am I running for public defender? A few of you have asked me, public defender, 20 years, what are you, nuts? That's hard work. You're the underdog every day. You go to court and deal with horrible stuff sometimes. How do you do it? I look at it differently. It's been an absolute blessing for me to be able to help folks get on track. There's nothing better than getting a phone call from a client 10 years, 20 years saying, after you represent them, saying, Dan, you navigated me through the worst situation of my life, and now I own a business. Now I have children. And these folks are doing so much better because of the work we did when they were in trouble in court. So that's why I'm running for public defender, partly. The other reason is I poured my heart and soul into this office. Every day, 40 hours a week, 50 hours a week, sometimes 60 hours a week. I would hate for it to take a step backwards. And leadership is important, right? The lawyers, my staff, our lawyers, our social workers, our secretaries, they're standing shoulder to shoulder with me as we run through this campaign together because they want us to succeed together. They want the leadership they've had. They trust me. They know that I'll be there for them both in and out of court, providing the support that they need. That office means the world to me. It really does. So I appreciate your time. I will say that not only have I earned the support of our lawyers and our staff, but I think a lot of people that you know and you trust. Representative Joe Casello was here this morning. I think he's still here. I've earned his endorsement, as well as AFL-CIO, the Service Union, and a lot of other elected officials. And I really, really appreciate their trust in me, as long as with Ms. Howitt. So thank you so much. DanEisender.com. I look forward to being your next public defender.
Right after our final speaker of the morning, please don't leave. We have Clerk Joe Abruzzo just to give you a 2-minute update, okay? It's very nice that he came a little later. he'll have an interesting update, I'm sure. Adam Frankel has been coming to Delray Beach since 1982 to visit his grandparents who lived first at Shady Woods and later at Rainbury Bay. After graduating law school, he moved full-time to Delray Beach, began his legal career in the Palm Beach County Public Defender's Office in 1999. He's been active in Palm Beach County politics and community service for over 20 years. In 2009, he was first elected to the Delray Beach City Commission. He ran and was elected 5 times to the Delray Beach City Commission. He's practiced as a criminal defense attorney for 23 years and has been endorsed and supported. He'll tell you about that, law enforcement, and he'll tell you about his endorsements, I'm sure. Adam Frankel.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Some of you may know me. My name is Adam Frankel. I'm your former Delray Beach City Commissioner. But I know you, the Delray Alliance. And how do I know that? Whenever there was a large issue in the city of Delray Beach or around our areas, there was a nice letter from Dr. Lori Vitacor expressly stating the position in this organization. She does an amazing job, as you all do too. So I always thank and value your viewpoints. It's always great for me to be here today, and I was reminded of this when I was speaking to Ed Saul outside. Because on April 1st, 2003, we dedicated outside 2 plaques, one to Murray Kalish and one to Dr. Andre Fladell. They were amazing in politics here in Palm Beach County. I used to come here and hear Robert Wexler, our congressman, speak. I used to hear our county commissioners like Bert Aronson speak. It's a very, very special place, and it's great to be here. I'd like to share with you some of my experiences. Dr. Vitacor stated, I have over 20 years in Palm Beach County community service and public service. Dave Ehrenberg, our state attorney, he appointed me to his Sober House Task Force. We all know what a big issue that was here for Palm Beach County and what an amazing job he did. Our mayor, Maria Sachs, who was here earlier, she appointed me to the Tourist Development Council. What we did and we were tasked to do is take the penny tax that all the visitors that stay in our hotels, and we allocate that to our sports commission, our cultural council, our airport, to name a few. A very, very big task, and I love doing that. Through this time, I've gained networks and relationships that I think would benefit this office, whether it be going to the Palm Beach County Days up in Tallahassee, lobbying with our fellow elected officials here in Palm Beach County for funds to come back here, or our League of Cities meetings, whether it be the local Palm Beach County League of Cities with our elected officials, or our Florida League of Cities with all the elected officials around the state. I had a great time representing the city of Delray Beach at these meetings. And that allowed us to get more funding to our city and for all our residents. Now, let's talk about the public defender's race. This is not a contest of who the best attorney is. We're both great attorneys. This is for a CEO of an organization of 200 people, about 100 attorneys and 100 support staff. And this position sets policy, as I did as 12 years as your Delray Beach City Commissioner. Some of our top priorities include fully staffing courtrooms at our satellite courthouses. You all know we have our Delray Beach Courthouse here on West Atlantic Avenue. It's one of the first places I worked as an assistant public defender when I worked for then public defender Richard Jornby. At that time, there were 3 assistant public defenders in that courtroom. Today, you're lucky if you get 1. If you are charged with a crime and you are sent to the Delray Beach Courthouse, you speak to Marty Epstein or Nadine Reynolds. They are assistant state attorneys. You speak to the prosecution before the defense, and I don't think that's right. I have proposed a juvenile mental health court, which we have over 500 in the United States. How many do we have in Florida? How many do we have in Palm Beach County? 0. They have them in Texas. They have them in California. They have them in New York. It's not a red state. It's not a blue state. It's an issue for all of us, whichever political party you may be part of. I believe we need improved community engagement. When I go here, I see clerk of court. They have a nice little stand over here. Maria Sachs, she always has a chair. We have our supervisor elections, but we never have the public defender. I think we need to get out and be more active in our community. And also, in most of the cases that are resolved, there's an aspect of community service assessed. My proposal is, instead of picking up garbage at the beach or sweeping floors, let's provide job training to be able to count those hours, to let those charged with a crime be able to use that and get experience and get a job. I am proudly endorsed by our 2 police unions, our Fraternal Order of Police and our Police Benevolent Association. And starting next week, I'm going to be announcing more of our elected officials and community leaders, so please keep an eye out. To wrap up, it's not bad to have an outsider come in for these positions. Wendy Link, our Supervisor of Elections, she didn't work in that office, but she's done a great job for us. Our Clerk and Comptroller, Joe Abruzzo, who, as a side note, we are the largest investor in Israel, and it's because of Joe Abruzzo. You need to thank him for that. He's done an amazing job as our Clerk and Comptroller. Dave Ehrenberg, our State Attorney. He never worked in our State Attorney's office. He served us well, and I'm proud to call him a friend. And Carrie Howitt, she ran from the outside and beat then Public Defender Richard Jordanby over 20 years ago. And I'm proud to say I worked for both of them. I have the experience on the inside and the outside of that office, and I ask for your trust to send me back. So finally, whether you vote by mail, whether you partake in early voting, or if you're going to vote on August 20th, I'd ask you to join with me, Adam Frankel. VoteFrankel.com is my website. Join with me because complaining is not enough. Thank you.
Oh, wow, thank you so much. Thank you so much to all of our candidates. Thank you for coming. And here we have Clerk Abruzzo.
Thank you so much, Lori. Good morning. How is everybody? Well, that was such a treat listening to all our candidates. And one thing that I always believe that sets us apart in Palm Beach County, regardless of your political persuasion, we really put incredible candidates forward. I almost sit there saying, anyone that gets elected, we know will have our interest in heart. And you don't see that in other places around the country. You see a lot of gamesmanship or people you don't trust. And I just think overall, in every race, in every field, we always put somebody forward that is going to represent us. So thank you for having this, Lori, and the entire Del Rey Alliance this morning. I just wanted to briefly update you on a couple very important things. I'll start with Israel bonds because Adam Frankel brought it up. We crossed a threshold months ago. We are the largest investor in the entire world in Israel bonds. And let me explain briefly why and why that's important. So I am your clerk of the circuit court and comptroller. The comptroller means I am your CFO and treasurer here in Palm Beach County. When Dorothy Jacks assesses the property values and collects the tax money as the tax collector, it comes over to our office where we invest that money to make the residents of Palm Beach County extra money, investment income. And then the county commission decides how that money is spent. So my job is just to earn extra money that we didn't have off the money that's collected. We broke an all-time record. When I took office, on our investment portfolio, we were making $27 million a year on investment income. I reported to the Palm Beach County Commission last year, the all-time record that we broke, $172 million of actual investment income. Just yesterday, it was my yearly report to the Commission of what we see coming. The fiscal year ends September 30th. We already broke, as we stand today, over $172 million. We will have over $215 million in extra income to the county, for the county commission. A big part of that is Israel bonds. Israel bonds, and Greg Weiss, Mayor Sachs, the entire county commission voted unanimously to allow me to invest more in Israel bonds. And the Israel bond portion of our portfolio, which is 15%, $700 million invested in Israel bonds, it will earn us $35 million. So just 15% of our portfolio is earning more than 100% of our entire portfolio did. President Isaac Herzog, the president of the state of Israel, sent a letter, I just received it a few weeks ago, and inviting me over to greet us and have meetings based on what we're doing for the state of Israel. So we've become a world leader, the world leader, I should say, in that aspect of finance. Switching gears, because I think this is important to know. It is a lot of money. We currently have over $4.5 billion in our portfolio. As mentioned, just quickly switching gears, day before yesterday, Judge Delgado, who did a remarkable job, furnished an order that allowed us to release the grand jury records for the Jeffrey Epstein case. This has been an ongoing battle for many years. Briefly, just to sum it up, I inherited a lawsuit by the Palm Beach Post suing the former clerk Sharon Bach to release the records. There was a big problem. Our office cannot release grand jury records because they are secret and they are sealed, and there's a good reason why. In a grand jury, and we have some of our best prosecutors in really the nation here, in a grand jury, there's a famous saying, a grand jury can indict a ham sandwich. That's because it's a one-way street where a prosecutor gets up, makes the argument to the jury, and tries to get the person indicted. The accused is not present and does not have representation. So Florida says, since this is a one-way street and due process, we're not going to allow grand jury records to be available to the public because the person doesn't have a right to defend, and especially now, this has been in place for forever, but especially now with the internet and social media, it would create for the innocent or those not charged this heinous record that would be available to the public and hurt somebody's reputation. So it's very secret and sealed. We felt that these records should be made public. This is a specific circumstance because the feeling was that the prosecutors who handled it at the time, by the way, 3 state attorneys prior to Dave Ehrenberg, might not have done a proper job in the grand jury to get Jeffrey Epstein a conviction that would have put him in jail for the rest of his life. Instead, he got a slap on the wrist and was able to continue for many years his reign of terror, specifically on underage girls. So when the judge ruled that he cannot release the records because it would be against the law, as your former state senator, I said, wait a minute. If it is a change of law, we can do that. Not a lot of people had confidence in it at the time. We wrote the law in our office, the bill in our office. We hired a great government advocacy team in Tallahassee, putting resources into it. We found 2 amazing legislators, Senator Tina Polsky and Representative Peggy Gossett-Seidman, who together we all teamed up, Democrats, Republicans, and we passed the bill into law, signed months ago. The law took effect July 1st. On July 1st, the judge gave the order, here are the records, you can release them. They went right up on our website, and they're there for everybody to view. I want to say this, it's important, and there's a warning on our website. It is extremely graphic, and it is outright disturbing and troubling to read. So if you venture down that path, I want to make everybody friends with mostly all of you, and I want to let you know that. But we're working hard in our office, nearly 650 employees. We have over 1,000 different statutory duties. I know I'm not here to give a full report or a campaign speech and just a few brief remarks, but I thought those were some important things to know. Would love to come back, Lori, and give more detail about what's going on in our office, but we are here for you. Our slogan is we're here to help, and it's not hyperbole. You need anything. As Adam also mentioned, we are always here. Just come up to us, and we're here for you. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for the update. Thank you for coming. Great to see everybody. We're going to see you all in September right here, first Wednesday in September. It will be another exciting program.